What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy Myron McRae, aka Tornado McRae, across the skyways of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations, baby. And I hope y'all are having a fantastic Thursday. I hope y'all are having a great week. Hope your week has been going smooth. And guys, we're gonna get into a few things on the docket today. And the first thing that came across my list is the 2026 very early mock drafts that have been dropped. Several analysts and reporters have already dropped their picks for the 2026 mock draft, as we've only just finished the draft last week. And I was really intrigued by the picks they had for Carolina, or at least the first round pick they had for Carolina. So as we look here, on this list, you will see, and I understand there's a lot of names, there was a lot of sources, so I have to break them down for you. So Bleacher Report's Brent Slavinsky had us picking number 6. What is it? Francis Muagwa? I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. Brian Fisher from Sports Illustrated also had us picking Francis, but at number 7. Luke Esterling from Athlon Sports had us picking number 6, but he had us taking Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas. Same with Rob Rang from Fox Sports, except it's at pick number 5. Josh Edwards, not our old colleague Josh Edwards, but Josh Edwards from CBS Sports had us picking number 7, taking Francis again. Dane Brugler from The Athletic had us going at number 6, taking Keldrick Falk, a D tackle from Auburn. Max Chadwick and I want to say it was Dayton Wasserman. It might be Dalton. I apologize if I forgot that. From Pro Football Focus had us taking number 6 at Anthony Hill Jr. And then Tony Pauline at Sportskeeda had us picking number 5, Caleb Downs from Ohio State. Now, with all of that being said and all that on the screen, I got a real quick issue. Why they got us picking so early? Like, I'm just sitting here. You really think we're about to be that trash? We're about to be no. I get it's way early, and to take this with a grain of salt and don't even like really consider it because, bro, the draft just ended a week ago. But they have us, all of them had us picking within the top 8 again. To me, they're saying, yeah, regardless of the moves y'all made, you're going to be a 5-12 team again or worse. And I'm sorry, that's disrespectful. No. I don't see this Carolina team being a 5-12 team. I don't know about y'all, but that's just me. I don't see it. I don't even think that's going to happen, barring some craziness like injuries and whatnot. And we're going to knock on wood, hoping that doesn't happen. But no, we're not going to be picking in the top 10. Now, if they had said like 15, 12 to 15, 12 to 18, 12 to 20, I would have conceded that. I personally would have conceded that and been like, you know what, that's feasible, that's plausible. But top 7, everybody picked within the top 7. No. That's disrespectful to the players that we drafted, to the players we signed, to the players we have here at the foundation, to what Dan Morgan in the front office has been doing this entire offseason, to how we ended last season. No. I'm not taking that disrespect, and I want all these reporters to eat their words. So we will come back to this at the end of the season, and when it's all said and done, I want to pull up all the names and make sure all these reporters and all these so-called experts give us the rightful apology we're going to deserve. But we're going to move on to the next, because speaking of players we've brought in, and I don't know if any of y'all have seen this yet, but the Carolina Panthers actually went on and signed Mapala Mwasa through the International Players Program, which I think that's actually a really cool thing. And I think it's a lovely program to have for the NFL to give guys who are overseas, who may not get the exposure or the recognition because they're not playing in the NCAA, still a chance to make it to the league, because there's a lot of talent outside of the U.S. We've learned this. It's the same with basketball. It's the same with baseball. There's a lot of talent outside the U.S., and it should be cultivated and brought to the league. I have no issues, especially considering how many times the NFL is now going overseas and playing games overseas. You don't think there's great players over there? But let's do a breakdown of Mpala. So he's a native of Peterborough, England. He actually played rugby, soccer, basketball, track, and cricket most of his life. And he learned about American football through watching Last Chance U and Quarterback on Netflix. I think that's kind of dope. I really think that's pretty cool. And after he go to school, he'd actually go on to play for the Nottingham Caesars in the British American Football Association in National League, which I didn't know that was the actual thing up until this. And then he played a year for Great Britain's national team for the 2024 European Championship. And the kid is only 20 right now. He's really young. And it's a really great signing. And the way he was signed was because the International Players Program had a joint pro day with the University of South Florida, and he turned some heads. He got a lot of people's attention, including our own Cole Spencer, the Panthers director of player personnel, because here's what Cole had to say. He said, by his times, the vertical jump, and the way he moved, you could tell he was trained at the IPP program. He was athletic, he looked the part, he looked explosive, and has a pretty good change of direction. Anytime you get a raw ball of clay like that, and the league affords a roster spot, it's pretty cool. And I genuinely love that this man is getting the opportunity to play overseas. I think it is one of one. I think it's a beautiful thing. And for those of you who don't know, he comes in at 6'3", 230 pounds. That's what he came in at his height and weight right now. And he's listed as an edge rusher, defensive end and edge rusher. That's what he played overseas in Britain. So another defensive lineman addition. I'm okay with it. And at the end of the day, it just builds depth. It just builds the roster, and it gives another body to fill the hole in case something happens. And like I said, the kid's only 20. If he turns out to be a gem of a signing, one, that's going to look great on the IPP program. And two, that's going to look great on the Carolina organization for taking a chance on him. So I'm all for it. I'm 100% behind it. Give the young man his opportunity and let him shine. Let's see what he can do. And lastly, speaking of other signings, we have to talk about the current free agent market and who Carolina may be taking in the current free agent market. Because recently in an interview, Dan Morgan stated that Carolina is still looking in the market, is still looking at some guys in the market for the safety position. Now, some notable names that are out there: Justin Simmons, Julian Blackmon, Jordan Whitehead, Jordan Poyer, and Rayshawn Jenkins. When it comes down just to these names alone, and there are quite a few others as well, but when it comes down to these names alone, personally, I think the best two options if Carolina was to sign anybody would either be Julian Blackmon or Justin Simmons. And if it comes down to those two and you ask me who to pick, I am going to say take Julian Blackmon, because when you look at what the kid's able to do and what he's done, and just last season alone, the kid had more interceptions than Simmons. He had more solo tackles than Simmons, played more snaps than Simmons, is actually younger than Simmons, and his contract average while he was in Indianapolis was actually cheaper than Simmons. So on average, he's going to be a cheaper player to bring in as well. And when you look at the way he plays the game, he has a natural instinct for the ball. He knows where to be in the right position. He's right there every single time, ready to make the hackle, as you see here. And he just looks comfortable in that secondary. He provides a safety net over the top that I think a lot of us would love to see. And personally, I just think Julian Blackmon would be a great addition to the Carolina Blue. But that's just me, guys. That's how I feel. I definitely think Julian Blackmon should be added to the team if they're going to look for somebody there. He's probably going to be a little more expensive now that he's getting through that contract. But, hey, I still think he's worth it. But, guys, you let me know your thoughts about everything that just transpired. How do you feel about the way too early mock drafts? How do you feel about Carolina signing an international player from Great Britain? How do you feel about potentially signing Julian Blackmon or Justin Simmons or any other free agent safety that's out there in the market? Let me know and comment below, because at the end of the day, guys, What do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with two tats. Peace. Much love to all of you, Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.